Wonderfully Homemade, episode, which one is it? 3! That's good. Welcome to another episode of Wonderfully Homemade. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Landis.
Today we're going to be talking about my favorite registry picks. So kinds of actually pieces that I loved and have been using in the past few months of marriage, as well as some of the pieces that I thought I would love and maybe I thought were super cute on the website, but now that... but yeah, there were definitely a few pieces that were super, super cute on the website, but in my own kitchen, a little difficult to work with. That's probably the most wisdom I've gleaned in the past few months, other than the fact that maybe I know nothing about anything and that I'm really selfish. Side note, that'd be a funny video.
Yeah.
But anywho, the first thing I want to note is that obviously if you watched our other registry video, you know that I'm quite partial to Williams-Sonoma. So that would definitely be my tip number one, or the thing I have to mention first that I loved was Williams-Sonoma as a whole. It, like I mentioned in the other video, is really just the full registry experience. You know, like where you get to have the whole scanner thing and everything, really getting done into it. There were also a lot of things that I didn't realize would be so multifunctional. And they really are. And so if you're like me and you have kind of a smaller space, I feel like most people our age or most newlyweds are living in probably downsized from what you have been living in the past. And so having like counter space and storage space and things like that in the kitchen is a bit of a challenge. So yeah, let's just dive into it. But the quarantine kind of made me realize how much I loved the baking set that I got from them. Okay. So I think it was one of the first things walking in that we saw and we knew we wanted. Too. Yes, where the Goldtouch Williams-Sonoma baking set, and you can buy it as a set. This is another like registry tip. I recommend doing piece by piece, because then that way someone, instead of having to look at the what,
not
1,000 exactly
when it's
like maybe I can do some cake pans but not like the whole set.
Yeah,
I just like them because they were so cute and gold, and having lived it, you know, with my parents my whole life and using just their, no offense mom, but like just it's from her wedding, you know what I mean, which is awesome. And so getting like brand new shiny ones for me, gold, I thought was just really different and unique and exciting. Some of the cheaper pans that I've used in the past it feels like they just get so hot that it burns the bottom of whatever you're making before it's actually cooked through. Yeah. And so I'm sure somebody really smart made these, you know.
And if you know why, or the science behind it.
Exactly. Let us know.
Because we would love to learn.
Yeah. It definitely makes a kind of older oven a lot more forgiving. And something another
we
small...
love forgiving.
Amen. Yes. And a small tip about that is that now that I have brand new ones, I try to take really good care of them, meaning when they're hot, do not touch them with water.
Oh, you know? That's a good point. I wouldn't think about that.
Because it warps it, you know, because if it'll, like, I'm sure everybody's pans have, like, bent in the oven before. You're like, what just happened? But it's just because it's been warped.
Yeah. Okay, well, so what would be another pick that you loved?
After my beloved Goldtouch, with that, I would definitely recommend registering for some Silpat reusable mats. So we were talking about this earlier. It is, first of all, really sustainable. I mean, a philosophy I like to have just in life is if I do it every day, how can I make it like sustainable?
Yeah,
you know,
that's awesome.
Maybe I don't, you know, use something, I don't know, but if it's part of my makeup routine, I try to make it like no waste and things like that.
And efficient. Just we're thinking about efficiency for the things you do every day.
Exactly.
Sustainable and efficient.
And so even now it's like it's time efficient because I pretty much keep my Silpat mats with the pan that I'm using it for, and so I just pull it out. It's not like I have to
size your parchment paper.
Exactly.
You know, rip it off.
Exactly. And I don't know if this is just my oven, getting a lot of hate on my oven, so I hope it still works for me. It's gonna like come back and get me
now.
Yeah.
Like, well, then I won't work
then
for
maybe
you.
I'll get a new one. But anywho, my oven, I've noticed when I use parchment paper, the paper comes out like stiff and practically burnt. Does yours ever do that?
Yeah, a little bit.
But probably not as much. So, but yeah, so I loved those. They're very sustainable, and you can wash them just like anything else. So I usually just put my whole sheet with the mat I almost said in the fridge, in the sink once it's cooled.
Okay.
And just scrub it, just like I would
Is it hard to clean? Do you
I
think
wouldn't say it's
easy?
hard to clean. And if you have a Silpat mat now, or if you get one, just know, do not roll it. Because it's fiberglass, actually.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? It's made of glass. I learned that at Williams-Sonoma.
Then one, or do you just register for one?
I would, right now, I pretty much have one.
Okay.
But I want more.
Okay.
Because they're great. But I think they're a little on the pricier side.
Okay.
But obviously,
But if you could register for
so
two,
often.
I bet you can have two people that
But
would
that's
get
what
one.
makes it a great thing to register for, because you're not buying it.
Yeah.
So it helps to like control the heat, like I said, that's coming onto your baked
so
goods.
it's not touching,
Right.
you know, the cookie, the whatever you're baking.
And just like parchment paper.
Yeah. Another pick that you love.
Particularly this week, maybe this is kind of digressing, but this week I have found a new love for my mini food processor.
Really?
Yes.
I love food processors.
Really? What do you use
happy.
a food processor
Okay,
for?
I love my food processor for like hummus. I love it for making crusts for pie. Really just chopping things up to when I'm feeling lazy. I just kind of throw it in, give it a...
So I realized that this week I can use it for personal smoothies.
Oh,
Yeah, and
really?
it makes about like just put it in one of my water glasses, and I put in about a cup of fruit, and then I'll add yogurt and whatever else. But
Mixes it up all.
I feel like, you know, a cup of fruit kind of gives you an idea of how much space there is in there. A cup of fruit, and like I said, that's all you need. So that's why I say personal. It's not like I could pour one out for like all my kids.
You wouldn't make one for like you and Thatcher at the same time in your mini one?
It wouldn't be a full smoothie.
Well, that's perfect then. Just be in the morning.
Yeah, so, and I've been doing that all week, and I really like it. And like I said, it's obviously multifunctional, as you already mentioned, and it helps to not have so many things on the counter, because personally, I haven't made a smoothie at home until last week. So it's not like something I need every day, and so I didn't end up spending the money on a blender.
Wow. Okay.
Which, if you're like me, I don't like to have tons of stuff on the counter, and honestly, I have room for maybe one workspace. And so I have to keep that preserved. You know, I can't just have tons of appliances that have to sit on the counter all the time.
So what is something that you feel like you registered for, maybe you didn't use as much as you thought you were going to use it, or it didn't work quite as well as you thought it was going to work? Or
There were definitely some things, especially when you're like shopping. It's basically online shopping. You know, you're looking at...
dream.
I know. Online shopping for things for people are going to buy you. It's awesome. And so you see lots of things, and you're like, oh, that's pretty, let me add it. But like, had I held it in the store, maybe I would have felt differently about it. Yeah. They were from Williams-Sonoma. I know. And so I had registered for some mixing bowls, and I ended up getting to register for some more later and got those as well, but I thought these would be like my mixing bowls. It was a whole nested set, but the mixing bowls were kind of like shallow. It was kind of this shape.
Okay, is this for like a hand mixer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, these are my mixing bowls, you know, but they kind of like have this shape with like a really wide mouth and low, and are you seeing?
I'm seeing, did stuff come out?
Mushroom explosion here, like nuclear bombs, what it looks like. But yeah, as soon as I held them, I was like, this doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But they're great because, like, honestly, if I make Thatcher like a meal for himself that is a huge portion, I'll put it in those bowls.
Yeah.
You know, like I've made like breakfast
So you still
scrambles.
can repurpose them for something else.
And I love to use them like if I'm marinating chicken or something, put them in there, you know what I mean? Because it's honestly kind of like a nice deep plate, you know? But they have their purposes, just not like my mixing bowls, you know? Okay. So Williams-Sonoma has another line that's great, and it's just 3 nested bowls that even they come with lids that are really, really great. And I would
wait, and do they also have on the bottom kind of a grippy?
They don't.
Okay,
but I
the ones that I love
that
have a grippy on the bottom, and they have like a lid for the top. So if I make icing or I make batter, I make something, I can close up the lid and put it in there. But also when I'm mixing with my hand mixer, the grippy at the bottom really does kind of just latch on to your island or countertop, whatever you're using, so that when you're mixing, it doesn't move around.
The hand mixer was like the most exciting thing I got.
Really?
There was something about it.
Which one did you get?
I got a KitchenAid hand mixer, just like the normal thing, and it actually comes with a whisk attachment. So like the normal ones, and then like one whisk.
You know, for making
like meringue or something. Yeah, it would be awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know why that felt so special to me. Like I was talking about earlier, you start out cooking with your mom's stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom's hand mixer was something that I used all the time when I was a kid and like would make cakes. I made cakes with my friends all the time.
And to finally have something that's your own.
Exactly. And it was like brand new and shiny and fancy and that was really, really
Someday
exciting.
your kid's gonna use yours and be like, I can't wait to have my own.
This
my
is
so old.
I know, you're so right. But it felt so, and I'll tell her, this is really special to me. So actually back on to things that I didn't love. Also my measuring cups that I got are so cute. They were
trendy.
Yes. These were metal mixing spoons and they were so cute because they seriously look like mini pots. Like they look like a giant pot. It's really cute. But they just are a little, it's almost like they're too deep. Like we were talking about. You want it to have a little bit more surface area to be easier to scoop.
Yeah.
And so these are a little impractical and they're really heavy.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and comment below. And we also have our video about registry tips and advice that you can watch as well. So that's all we have for today. Thank you guys.
Thanks.